has commenced. Game is underway.
Alrighty, so it looks like on the western side of the map, we're going to have Complexity's CatZ, aka Colonel CatZ, if you will, spawning as the teal Zerg, and then, of course, his ally here, Fnatic Rain, spawning as the green Terran. Together, they do form the team Last Second Alliance, and then they'll be playing against the team that just took that first game in a pretty close game. It's certainly on the knife's edge for quite a while in the early game there. We've got Liquid Sheth spawning in the blue, and Liquid Ret spawning in the red. They are both, of course, on the eastern side of the map, if you didn't notice.
The eastern side of the map they are at, or you could call it, 2 o'clock or 1:30 and 3:45. No, like 3:30 o'clock. Yes. That's why I never use a clock. I just say
I hate using the clock, man. It's so hard.
It really is. Just not only just like thinking about, okay, wait, you got a picture in your head, which way is the hand pointing, but also, I mean, what if you're in a position like red? It's not really 3 o'clock, it's more like 3:30, but then you say 3:30 and you sound silly, and then most of all, you end up rambling like this, explaining why clocks are bad.
Yep, speaking of which, take a look at that production tab. We've got, it's an extractor race right here. It looks like our blue Zerg here, Red, is actually in the lead. CatZ not far behind. Bringing up the rear is going to be... So all these guys going for a very similar opening here, and kind of surprised no proxy or anything. This wasn't even gas first for Rain, so just a very... a standard game here. I'm wondering if CatZ and Rain aren't going to say, you know what, these guys like to play a macro game. Let's just try... and play a macro game, and wow, Sheth actually looking all over for a proxy. Actually, I think maybe that's because the wall was already complete, but his drone taking a long way around here.
Yeah, that's actually a neat trick you can use in one-on-ones. If you try to go to a spawning location with the drone, and he kind of takes a roundabout path and doesn't really go where you want him to, you know that your opponent has a wall up, and you know that that's where they spawned at, so... just right-click on each starting location and see if your drone goes crazy. If he goes crazy, you know where to send him. So I doubt Sheth needed to do that since there are only 2 spawn locations for the players to spawn at. But fun fact of the day. That's the side fun fact of the day. Oh, that probe did not enjoy that. For that drone.
There's no probes here, man.
It's
been a long day.
It has been, man.
But either way, we do have Roach Warrens coming up for CatZ, and it looks like Ret, not Sheth, made it so much harder to do when you got Ret and Sheth.
Long day.
It's going to be a Baneling Nest for Sheth, so they might be looking to get very aggressive here. It all kind of depends. It's looking like it's actually going to be a Roach Hellion style, as well as that's actually a second barracks. Very interesting. Maybe possibly Marauder Hellion. We've actually seen that have a lot of success against this... It's tough to see how this unfolds.
Yeah, and Sheth and Ret switching it up. One with Roaches, one with Banelings. Possible timing attack incoming. CatZ with some Lings sneaking by into Sheth's base. He is... Oh, he's not going to see the Baneling Nest. Did he see that? Let me select the building. No, he did not see the Baneling Nest. Brilliant spawning pool placement from Sheth, denying that access. Probably just coincidence. I don't think he was expecting that to deny Ling scouting to his Baneling Nest, but it's pretty cool nonetheless. And here comes Sheth and Ret. They are moving out on the map. 6 more Roaches out for Ret, but a lot of Roaches for CatZ too.
Look at oh man, who is this? This is CatZ base. We've got 4 Banelings, and if they can bait out CatZ's units, if they maybe go attack Rain, there's 4 Banelings that could just go ahead and absolutely demolish CatZ, but it looks like they're actually wanting to get a little bit aggressive here. We'll see if these Banelings get in. They're actually just going to go ahead and go for it. In come the Banelings, and the drone's not getting pulled right away, taking out a whole bunch, and connecting with even more. He's only got 7 drones left now. CatZ absolutely crippled, but a lot of Hellions out here actually able to overpower some of these Roaches, and once again, he does have 2 tech labs on these 2 barracks, so the Marauder Hellion composition. And Ret and Sheth are going to have to basically back off now, but they have done the damage, down to 8 drones, but of course they themselves only have actually 17 apiece as they pop out a couple more, so if they just get out enough units. But we've seen a lot of this kind of Hellion Marauder competition demolishing Zergs in 2v2s.
Yeah, and if you're Sheth and Ret in this situation, you just spent a lot of resources, a lot of units on destroying economy. You did not lower the enemy's unit count. And, you know, in the long run, yes, that will kick in and CatZ will be at a disadvantage. But in the short run, they can just move out. Rain and CatZ can move out without much of an army disadvantage because, you know, the low harvester count hasn't affected CatZ too much yet. And try to win the game. So Rhett and Sheth really need to be on top of their unit count, start pumping out whatever they can, and just hold this off. And, you know, let that discrepancy in harvesters, the 17 and 18, compared to CatZ's 11, really give them the edge.
Yeah, and I mean, they just straight up need more units against this Marauder mix. There's actually no concussor out quite yet. It's almost done. It's not quite done yet, though, and here we go. Some Banelings are actually trapped in the back, but once again, only the Hellions are laying. Roach versus Roach, and of course the Marauders and Hellions, and this is very close, but I feel like there might just be too many Roaches from a Team Liquid here, and they're just demolishing this aggression, forcing everything back, and they might even just go for the killing blow here as these units continue to go across the map. I'm seeing no drones in production, just pure units. And CatZ is even going to go ahead and try and get a macro hatch up. I'm not too sure what's up with that, but this counter push, man, it's looking very scary.
It is, but at the same time, Rain with his own run-by with 6 Hellions, 1 getting picked off by 3 Roaches, so he's going to have to multitask like a pro. He's got 2 Hellions going to Rhett, 3 Hellions going to Sheth, and he's managing this attack from these Roaches with these Marauders. He's got to lift up that supply depot. Looks like these Hellions are getting a little bit of kills. I'm trying to look at everything at once, but these Roaches just aren't able to get in. They're going to head down into CatZ's base and do what they can.
Yeah, it looks like not a ton of damage really getting done with those Hellions. 16 and 19 drones versus just 11 for CatZ, and they're going to bust through as hard as they can, even just focusing down this hatchery for now as CatZ is trying to hug his spine, and they're just not having any of it. They will be getting flanked from some Marauders, though, so they need to be careful, but if they kill the hatchery and it does go down, and I mean, it's pretty hard to come back from when you lose your hatchery, but once again, they're investing in killing the army, so there might be some counterattack potential. But it's just so many Roaches right now. It's even more knocking at the front door of Rain that will actually get deflected. But, yeah, damage. I mean, CatZ has been revealed. Never good getting revealed.
Yeah, this was just some great play by Sheth and Rhett. CatZ is no longer mining. He just now started that hatchery back up. But that early Baneling attack, it really crippled CatZ, and it forced CatZ and Rain to attack when they didn't want to. Sheth and Rhett knew it was going to happen. They made a lot of Roaches. Mainly Rhett, actually. I kind of wonder if Sheth fed him somewhere along the way, because that was so many Roaches.
Yeah.
And it was just too many. Even despite 4 or 5 Marauders in the back, they were able to defend against it pretty easily. Now they have a firm advantage, and they're going to try to take even more of an advantage by throwing down an expansion at each of their naturals.
And Rain is just going to go ahead and try and make a ton of bunkers right here in the front. 3 bunkers going down. And it's like, okay, you can not die for a little while, but if you don't get aggressive right now, you're going to get absolutely overrun. These guys, making drones is what they do. They just like to make a lot of drones. And they're in a great spot now after... I mean, they're just so impressive right now. I really don't think either Sheth or Rhett have played a lot of 2v2, and they're just really doing so well, really proving that, hey, man, you might both play Zerg, you might play the same race, but they're making it work.
Yeah, and you know, one of the benefits of 2 incredible players like these guys playing the same race is they know when they can drone up. They know what the other wants to do, and you know the timings of what they do. So we've seen them drone up at the same time. We've seen them make units at the same time, and they just synchronize everything so well, and it really leaves everything to your opponent to try to, I don't know, come up with something to throw them off. But you know, they've tried the early proxy with the 2 racks on the last map, and it didn't work. And they tried macroing up this game, but then Rhett and Sheth were aggressive. It's just crazy how well these guys are working together. I would not have expected it.
And, I mean, they continue to do so. They've kind of got a full scout off. If you look at the overlords on the map, they've got a ton of vision. They even got to see Rain's command center coming up. I mean, they obviously know that CatZ rebuilt his base because he's not revealed anymore. So